Hi, in this video I'm going to walk through how to debug portal services in IntelliJ IDE. Most services in the lab portal are relying on Kafka for event sourcing and CQRS. So before we do anything, we need to set up the environment. The first thing first, we need to start the Confluent platform. Regarding to how to install Confluent, you can go to the Confluent website. I installed everything in my tool Confluent folder, and you can try Confluent local status to see all the services up running. If you want to start services from scratch, you can just call Confluent local start. I got all service started already, so I don't need to do this anymore. The second thing you need to do is you need to start a console server in the Docker. The reason is we want to register all the OAuth services to console so that when we are trying to interact between different services in the portal, we can have OAuth to be available for security between different services. In order to start the console server, you need to go to light Docker folder. Here we have a command line docker compose -f docker compose console. This command will start the console server. We got console server started already, so we don't need to rerun this anymore. The next step, you need to start OAuth server. If you are trying to debug from JUnit test cases, especially from query side, most time you don't need a OAuth server. But for most debugging in portal service, you need OAuth server. So let's get it started. In order to start OAuth server, you need to go to light config test repository. There is OAuth folder, light OAuth folder. And there's a local console. This folder contains all the configuration to run the OAuth on the local server. You can just try docker compose -d. That will be fine to start all the services. We've got all the services started already, and they all registered to the console. You can see that from this interface. This is a local console. We got all the OAuth services registered. They are all in the working status. So at this moment, we have everything ready to start our testing. First, let's do the test for the user query. You can see let's do this. We query user by email. Let's say we have this service available and we want to test out to see if it's working. We can set up a endpoint here. Let's say put an endpoint here, and we created a test case here. It's called query user by email test. In order to set up the JUnit test, you don't need to do anything. Just load the project and go to the test case. You can just say, oh, well, I want to test using a post request, or I want to test using a GET request. In either case, like you can see, we're using a token. It's a long-lived token, and this token is in the tutorial. You can find this token. This token contains scope for portal W and portal R to have read-write read and write access to the portal services. You can even set an endpoint here in the test case. Let's run this test. Test query user by email post. We'll just right click and you can say debug. The server will be started, and you can see it's wait for several seconds in order to ensure all the stream processing is done. And then we reached this class, query user by email. You can see with the endpoint is triggered. We can just walk through. The email is still who@gmail.com. And you can check the audit info not equal to null, and this audit info actually contains information from JWT. Now we have user ID coming from the JWT. The user ID is the same, is still who@gmail. If user ID not equal to null, then we are doing this. We get the role as well. The role right now is null. We don't have any role. So here we check user ID equal to the passing email and the user ID is not equal, or role not equal null. Basically, we are trying to figure out if this user has the permission to query the user information. If not same user and the JW token not contains role as admin, then it's reject. The user query is denied. But in our case, the JWT user and the email is same. So it goes here, we get the streams, and then we query the store and we get the data. If they're not equal null, return the data. We let it go, and you can see we come back to the test case. And within the test case, you can see the body is output here. This is the entire body of the user object, and let it go. So this basically gives you a walkthrough how you can debug portal service, just an individual service. You can see we don't have any server in this service. The service is a hybrid service, because in the end, this service will be deployed in a hybrid server. This is a query, maybe just like hybrid query server for the portal. But when you do the development, you don't need to do anything. The generated code will contain a server in the test. This is a test server. Using the test server, you can debug all the endpoints and to make sure it works, if the endpoint works independently. However, there are some cases the endpoint cannot work independently. It needs to access other services to complete its logic. In that case, you will need another service to be running at the same time and register to the console. We'll walk through that scenario in the next video. That's it. This is how you debug through test cases. And the majority of developers probably going to use this approach to develop their services. Thank you. Bye.